Hi, Save with Crypto here. Okay, so yesterday my video about making $1 million out of $2,000 did seem to create quite a lot of interest. So I thought I'd talk about that a bit more. First things first, I think we should have like a practice phase for a couple of weeks. Two reasons for that is one, it's probably a good idea maybe to use a smaller amount. I'm thinking like $100. And also I am going to be away. I'm going to the Canary Islands on Monday. I'm going to be there for 10 days. So although I will be, looking at trades, making videos, all that kind of thing, I won't be able to sort of like look at the screen all the time because I want to be, swimming in the sea and floating around the pool and enjoying palm trees, sunshine and things like that. So, so not so much screen next week. So realistically, the kind of date we're talking about of starting this is something like the 7th of November. But I don't know, the 1st of November sounds like a nice idea, doesn't it? Maybe actually not being in front of a screen might be helpful. Maybe the idea of not jumping in and out of trades all the time is probably a better idea because I do definitely overtrade. And I know people who make tons of money are people who just make, one or two trades a week. So there's that to bear in mind. There again, we do want to achieve the 1.72% a day. So just to recap on what happened yesterday is round about lunchtime, we were looking for the stonksy background to go green on the 1 hour time frame. And in fact, that did happen. When was that? That was about just before 2 o'clock. UK time, it went onto the green background there. So the level we're looking at there was something like 67,479. I didn't quite catch that level. I caught it a bit late. And then last night I was out to dinner and I was with a new lady. So, I didn't want to have my phone out or anything like that. So I just kind of set a stop loss and I thought I'd just leave it, just leave the trade alone. If it hits the stop, it's no big deal. In actual fact, when I got home, I realised that the stop did hit, but it did make a profit. So it wasn't brilliant. I got in at 67648 and I came out at 67799. That made 5.6% profit. I was on 25x leverage though, which I'm not going to use anything like that when we do it for real. It was because I was using a small amount. So 5.6%, that's not bad. That would have fitted in with the plan. I could have made a lot more because the price did go up a few hours before it hit the stop loss. Yeah, because it went up to like 68.8k. So that was quite amazing. But, I didn't get it there. I got it on the way down. So what I did was something that I featured in a video last week where I was saying that if you miss the entry for a stonksy entry, you can try and re-enter at the price that it crossed over into the green. So I've just drawn this purple line here. When that candle body closed on the red and that candle body opened on the green. So that was actually 67479. And what I did this morning was I set a trade on ByBit. This is just $84 worth of Bitcoin. And this trade entered this morning, entered a long at 67,472. So currently that is 2.36% in profit. So this is a good example of something where if that was the challenge amount, I could just say, okay, we've done the profit today. Let's just close it. And it's done. And then we look for another trade tomorrow. Or if we get an opportunity later on today, look for that as well. Now, I'm not going to close that just now. The reason being is if I put on my EMAs, and if you want to see how I set these up, look at the video at the end of this video, and it is linked to one where I tell you how to set it up. So that shows these moving averages. The red is a 5 EMA, the cyan is a 9 EMA, the yellow is a 21 EMA, and the green is a 55 EMA. Now these are almost in the right order on the hourly time frame for an uptrend. The only problem being is that cyan is a bit too close to the yellow and the red is below the yellow as well. So ideally they need to go like they are here: red, cyan, yellow, green. Okay. Nevertheless, what I'm looking at now is the 5-minute time frame. And what I want to see is that yellow 21 crossing the green 55. Now, if they cross, I think the price will go up again. So it's 10:20 on Friday morning now. I'm just going to wait for a little while and see what happens, because I'm not sure how strong this is looking, to be honest. Now, just while we're waiting for the price to do something, I put these details into the compound daily interest calculator here on compounddaily.org. So initial purchase amount $84, okay. Daily interest rate is going to be 1.72. That's what we're trying to achieve. Length of term 365 days. Daily reinvest rate, we'll reinvest 100%, because the idea is to make as much money as possible. But I'm thinking that later on it might be worth tweaking that to something like 90% or 80%, because we might want to pay ourselves some money. We'll include weekends, and the start date is today. So let's do a calculate. Okay, so you started off with $84 on the 25th of October. Okay, and that grew in the year by 42,420. That giving a total after a year 42,336. Now, if you can make that amount of money out of $84, that'd be great, wouldn't it? So let's try and do that. And initially, in the first week or two, we only really need to be earning about $1.50, really. So what I'm going to do is copy these values into a new tab on that spreadsheet and create one that we can use for practicing, and then hit it harder in November with more money. So what I've done for the moment, I've just copied some values into another tab. I've called it Practice Account, and I've called the main tab 1 Million Challenge. So at the end of the day, I suppose what I should do is put in both those values, the Bitcoin and the USD value. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. Okay, so from the ByBit account, what I've done here is I've just put in the total amount in BTC and the total amount in US dollars. Obviously, we're going to trade inverse perpetual Bitcoin, so I'm going to use Bitcoin as the main asset that I'm trading. The reason I want to do that is because I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up massively between now and probably this time next year. So I want the underlying asset to be Bitcoin. If it was a bear market, I would be using USDT perpetual. Sometimes these are known as Coin M and USDT M, I think it is. So that's what I'm going to use. The reason being is if you're not in a trade and you're just holding on to USDT, the temptation for me is always to jump into a trade, even if you don't think you should be in a trade, because you want to be holding Bitcoin. So I think if you're holding Bitcoin anyway and you're not in a trade and the price is going up, you don't feel so bad, because you think, well, my asset's going up anyway. And if the price is falling down, then you're going to be looking for a long anyway. So for me, it makes more sense to use the Coin M inverse perpetual in a bull market and USDT M or USDT perpetual in a bear market. And I'm pretty sure we are in a bull market now, and I think we will be for another 12 months or so. Okay, so let's add a chart to that. So we'll have the date, and then we'll compare that with the gold price and then the real price. If we insert a chart there, that should do it. Okay, cool. Let's show these by aggregate. You can see the date a little bit better. Okay, so that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve going from $84 to $200 in about 50 days. Does that sound unreasonable? It doesn't really, does it? I mean, we're talking about making the maximum of $3.30 in one day at the end. So if that doesn't sound unreasonable, then I don't see why the 2,000 to 1 million challenge in a year is unreasonable either. It's the same mathematics. So this one I've already started with $84. Let's just have a quick look at the trade. Okay, so this is looking good, you see. That's done 5.95% profit. That's made $5. Will it go higher? That's the question. Let's have a look at the chart. Let's have a look at the 5 minute. Okay, well look, the 5 minutes got the yellow crossing the green EMA there. So that is a bullish sign to me. So I don't see why that won't go up now. And what's really beautiful, what you can do with ByBit is you can set a trailing stop that works really, really well. It's the best trailing stop I've seen of any exchange. So all I do is I think, well, I'm 6.53% in profit. Half of that will do. Well, you can measure all the way back to the start, and that says that's $298. So half of that is about 150. So I'm just going to go to trading stop. I'm going to put in, 150. Okay, and confirm. And what that does, that puts this stop here, and that will follow the price up. And that will probably close sometime today, because when the price wiggles around, it tends to do that. But that's okay, because I know we're going to be more than the goal we need, which is the 1.72%. So if I can make 3% on this, we're winning. Okay, so you get the idea of how it's all going to work. If you like, I can link to this spreadsheet in the description down below. Now, you don't need to request access for it. All you need to do is open it up on your Google Drive and go to File and go to Make a Copy. And you can make your own copy and you can edit that and put in your own values, do what you like. But I probably will change things over time. So any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Please do like the video, because I think this is going to be really good. I think it's going to be like great fun, and it's going to kind of prove a point one way or the other. Do keep up to date by being subscribed and having the notifications set on all. Join the free Telegram group. Follow me on Twitter as well. And above all, tell your friends.